Okay guys, quite an interesting electrical fault here. We've got a brake light. The one brake light works, the other brake light is illuminated when the headlights are on, but the brake light is not turning on. We've got a brand new light bulb in there, and there's nothing wrong with our socket. Now, it's a ground problem, but the reason this is an interesting video is that the other light bulb, when I put it in, is illuminated. Okay, now the average person would think that this has a good ground. However, it's not actually receiving the ground from the case as it should. Now, if you follow this white wire, just here, the white wire will loop over to the other case here, and that's your ground. Now, when I set my digital multimeter to continuity, right, or the beep test, okay, that's telling us we've got a connection there. Okay, now when I go from case to case, I do not have ground. Okay, however, I do have ground here, so that's telling us that there's a dodgy ground there. Now I'm going to show you the interesting part. This is what you need to know. This light bulb, when it's working, again, it's not getting its ground from the case. It's actually getting its ground from the opposite pin inside. Now, from pin to pin, I'm going to put this now onto 12 volts. Okay, and I'm going to put one pin on each stud. You see, I'm not touching the case, and we have 11 volts, and it says minus 11 volts because I've got these two wires around the other way. Now, interestingly enough, when you have some automotive switches, now I'm going to use these two test leads as an example as a switch. With a relay, you have a switch that is normally closed or normally open. So in one direction, it rests in this direction, and when you switch, it comes over here. So what this circuit is actually doing right now is when this brake light is off, it's resting in the closed position against somewhere else, and it's actually receiving an earth through that other pin. And that's why we're getting our brake light still working, even though we have a faulty ground on this case now. And as I showed you before, it beeped over here, and it beeped when we were on that stud. So all I need to do is take out this screw, clean up that connection, and we're going to have brake lights again. I hope that was interesting. And again, just to reiterate, it's just a method I'm showing you how to troubleshoot. Just because your light bulb is working on one filament doesn't mean that it's going to work on the other one. In this case, we got a dodgy false ground that was still working, but it wasn't actually the true ground that the circuit requires. Thank you.